Want to improve your English while having fun? This story is made just for you. It's simple, exciting, and full of real English that people actually use. While you listen, your brain is learning without even trying. No boring grammar lessons. No flashcards. Just natural English. So hit subscribe, like the video, and turn on the bell to never miss a new story. Let's begin. Anna was 22 years old when she took her first solo trip to Paris. She had dreamed of it since she was a teenager. Walking along the Seine, sitting in cafes, eating croissants, and visiting the Louvre. She had seen the Louvre Museum in pictures and movies. But standing in front of it felt unreal. The giant glass pyramid. The old palace walls. The people from every country standing in line. Anna had bought her ticket online the night before. She arrived early, just after the museum opened. She passed through security, walked under the glass ceiling, and stepped inside the largest art museum in the world. Anna loved art, but she wasn't an expert. She didn't have a plan. She just wanted to wander, look, and feel something special. She started with the Italian paintings, then walked into the sculpture gallery. She stared at statues of angels, gods, and heroes. She admired the golden frames, the quiet halls, the soft light from the high windows. Everywhere she turned there was something new. But after 2 hours her legs grew tired. She sat on a bench, checked the paper map of the museum, and noticed something interesting. A small wing on the eastern side, labeled in gray. Unlike the other galleries, it had no bold title, no artworks listed, and no clear direction. She looked at the map again. There was no sign saying it was closed. Just quiet. He became curious. Anna stood up, stretched her legs, and started walking toward that wing. The halls got quieter. The tourists grew fewer. She passed a group of schoolchildren, turned left, and walked up a short marble staircase. At the top there was a tall wooden door. It wasn't locked. It was slightly open. There were no guards nearby. No signs saying "Do not enter." Only a small rope across the entrance, not too tight, not too high. She hesitated. Then she stepped over it. Inside, the hallway was silent. No footsteps. No voices. No cameras clicking. The lights were still on. The floors were clean. The paintings were covered in glass. But something felt different. The air was cooler. The space was darker. The echo of her footsteps sounded louder. She walked slowly, quietly. On one wall, there were paintings she had never seen before. Dark portraits with eyes that seemed to follow her. She looked at one closely, then another. Then behind her she heard a faint noise. It was nothing sharp. Just a small sound. Like the creak of a door. Or a footstep. She turned around. No one was there. She smiled nervously and shook her head. It's just a museum, she thought. He kept walking. But then she noticed something strange. A chair had been placed in the middle of the room, not part of the display. Just there. And in the corner, a box of cleaning supplies. A forgotten broom. A closed bucket. A bottle of glass spray. She realized, maybe this part of the museum wasn't open to the public. Maybe it was being cleaned. Or repaired. Or simply off limits today. She felt a wave of unease. She decided to turn back. But when she reached the hallway where she entered, the rope was gone. The door behind it was now completely closed. She walked to it and touched the handle. Blocked. Her stomach tightened. He looked around. There had to be another exit. Another staircase. Another way back. She walked through a different doorway and entered a second room. This one was smaller. No windows. Only 4 large paintings. He crossed it and opened the next door. A storage space. boxes, tools, a folded ladder. Now her heart was racing. She didn't want to panic. She had her phone, but there was no signal. No Wi-Fi in that part of the building. No emergency buttons. She walked faster. Finally, at the end of a long, narrow hallway, she found another door. She pushed it and stepped into light. A normal gallery. Visitors. Tourists. A guard standing by a statue. She walked past him calmly, pretending she had always been there. Anna didn't say anything. She didn't want to cause a scene. She didn't want to admit she had crossed a rope and entered a closed area. Instead, she found a cafe inside the museum, sat down and ordered a cold drink. She took out her notebook and wrote, "I entered a part of the Louvre that was supposed to be closed. I didn't break anything. I didn't touch anything. But I felt something I didn't expect, fear. Even beautiful places can feel strange when you're alone. I'll never forget it." She finished her drink, smiled to herself, and went back into the museum. This time she followed the signs. Without even thinking about it, you just practiced. Past tense storytelling. Useful travel and museum vocabulary. Describing fear, curiosity, and discovery. Reading and reacting to signs, symbols, and silence. This is the power of stories. You don't just study English, you live it. Have you ever entered a place by accident? A closed room? The wrong building? A quiet space that wasn't for visitors? Tell us your story in the comments. And if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss another English story. See you in the next one.